Lincoln. Come more today.
This is the hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome into the happy hour. No Nick, not school this time. Lack of school, actually. That's the reason he's not here. So it's Bach and myself joining you. little takeover from the water cooler, taking it into the happy hour. And actually, it's kind of a good thing that it's still us because we could continue to talk about something that just happened. And I'm going to play. Oh, hold on. I have to wait for the music to end. Actually, no, I don't. We have this one. Nebraska football done went and did the damn thing again. Another commitment for Matt Rule and this Huskers coaching staff as Prince Will. Hold on, I gotta see if I can say this right. Give me 1 second while I find the name. Prince Will. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna say this so wrong. Uman Malin.
Just say it quickly.
Prince Will Uman Malin commits to Nebraska. Another edge rusher for Matt Rule and company. 4-star, 6'4", out of, I believe, Texas?
Maynard, Texas, yeah.
Maynard, Texas. Shout out. Look at that. These recruiting weekends have been extremely fruitful for Matt Rule and this Huskers coaching staff. Last weekend, they had 18 visitors in, I believe, and they got 3 commits out of it. This week, well, they got 4 because I'm gonna count Tristan Alvano as a commitment for that. This week, they have 15, maybe more visitors in, and they're up to 4 or 5 commits on the weekend. Jalen Lloyd, Jeff Sims, Prince Will, and then there were 2. There was the Ramir Stewart out of Pennsylvania, first Pennsylvania recruit since 1999 for Nebraska, believe it or not. And the safety transfer out of Florida that I cannot remember. Corey Collier.
It was a 4-star in the portal.
So 5 from this weekend, 4 from last weekend. They are on a tear.
Well, and it's interesting, too, I mean, because Nebraska doesn't have too many of the high-end type of recruits, at least according to the recruiting services. This is a 4-star, so this will be your second 4-star, interestingly enough, at the edge position, because Riley Van Poppel could fit in there. Maybe he's more of an interior offensive lineman or defensive line. We'll kind of see how that kind of plays out. But 2 4-stars on the defensive line now in this upcoming class. And like you said, the momentum has just taken over. It's still interesting because a lot of those guys that were committed to the last class, are they still going to be in? You know, so there's still going to be some transitioning that happens here. But thank God we've moved away. Remember those first 2 weeks under Matt Rule was like, he hasn't gotten a commit yet.
He hasn't done anything. And now it's like, whoa, calm down.
Yeah, now he can't even keep up with these commits. I mean, it seems like every day.
Yeah, we have to stay on Twitter because there's a new commit every couple of hours. And I mean, that's on the heels of Hayden Moore, a outside linebacker, I believe it's outside linebacker, out of the state of Colorado, 3-star, decommits from Nebraska yesterday, commits to Michigan today. So Nebraska has lost 2 linebackers to the Michigan Wolverines in the span of, a week and a half.
Yeah.
And that means that look, positive thinking here. Okay.
Okay.
That means the staff was recruiting really well.
Yeah,
right?
Michigan wants your guy. Yeah, they're a pretty good program right now.
If Michigan wants your linebackers, it means you're recruiting pretty well. Granted, one transferred out. You already had him for a year. He didn't want to be here. And the other one hadn't been here yet, commits to Michigan. But if they're going to Michigan, that's a playoff team 2 years in a row. That means you're recruiting pretty well, right?
Big Ten champs back-to-back years.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You're doing something. You're looking at the right kids.
Yeah. I think some of these guys that were committed to the last staff, you'll probably see them move along. I don't think we've still... Has the Well, yeah, I guess there has been some movement here and there. Where did Pop Watson end up committing again?
Pop
Do you
Watson
remember?
committed to Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech. That's right.
Because our very own Nate Brennan was extremely excited about that.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, look at this. And I really wanted to I don't know how he spoke about Pop Watson when he committed to Nebraska, but I was really hoping he was like, oh, I don't know about this, because I wanted to go back and find it, but I was just too lazy.
Yeah, he gets excited. I mean, Virginia Tech football's got.
He's like sending us every time Virginia Tech gets a commit from somebody. I'm like, I don't know who that is.
Just another like 3-star. Like, oh,
congratulations, I guess.
Yeah.
Good job for the Hokies. But no, Nebraska. And you guys can give us your thoughts on the newest commit, Prince Will out of Texas. 402-464-5685 Honda Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line, and on the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Great name. I'll give him that.
Yeah, Prince is back. It's nice. Prince
we get another
We missed
Prince.
it. Yeah.
We are royalty you. Is that a thing?
Yeah, Prince was a real Prince. We'll have to see
was.
if Prince Will is as well. But his name's Prince Will,
Prince
so
Will.
I'm not sure.
I'm going to go with yes.
You think so?
I'm going to go with yes on the royalty aspect of this. I think Prince Will is royalty.
In
and
Texas.
Nebraska is now royalty you, and I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that. We have Queens coming in tomorrow. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Nebraska just loading up on commitments, and it's something great. And we actually have somebody on the Honda of Lincoln hotline. Craig, welcome to the happy hour. What's up, Craig?
What's up, guys? Just wanted to comment about some of the recruiting stuff you've been pumping the Kool-Aid on. Some of those guys are awfully light for their height. 6'4" and 215 and 6'5" and 225. You know how they inflate all those stats. But some of those guys are awfully light. Just wanted to make a comment that they need to hit the weight room awfully hard. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Craig. Well, that is exactly what college is for. And that's exactly usually what your first year is for.
But
when
it
you're
is
when you're coming out of high school, and especially defensive, offensive line, stuff like that. You're not really expected to come in as a freshman and put in work right away. Usually, unless you're one of those freak athletes who is 6'4" and 240 pounds, you're not expected to come in as a freshman and put in that work and be a difference maker, day one. You come in, you put on the weight, you get used to everything, and then your second year, your redshirt freshman year, usually when all that stuff takes place. But in terms of, some of the guys at the skill positions that are tall and a little light, I mean, it's a skill position. If it's a wide receiver or running back, you don't have to be 240 pounds as a wide receiver to make a difference. You see guys coming in all the time at skill positions as freshmen and making a difference, because it's all about knowledge. It's all about, speed and athleticism at those positions. Whereas on the defense and offensive line, and sometimes linebackers, you got to be big, you got to be physical. And usually a freshman coming fresh out of high school isn't ready to compete with a guy who's been lifting at a collegiate level for 2-3 years.
Well, and the other thing though is there is this for those guys, that edge rushing position especially is kind of a tweener spot. Caleb Tanner was listed at 220 this past year. And
he did not look 220.
Yeah, he looks like
he looked all of 220.
He's got that in his biceps.
Yeah.
But he's
1% body fat.
Yeah. I mean, but I think Garrett Nelson might be about 20 pounds heavier. So it's not as big of a transition for some of these guys as you think, but it is intriguing to see this, because on the defensive line, you wonder with the 3-3-5 and again, I'll have to kind of look more into it, but I know like last year at Syracuse, they kind of had, if you can kind of think of, I don't always go back to, he was one of my favorites and he was underrated, but I liked him. Greg McMullen, that kind of big, he was recruited at times to be a defensive tackle, that kind of big space eating defensive end rather than an absolute edge rusher on the 3-3-5. I think those linebackers are going to be more of kind of the unpredictable blitzers that can be kind of in that position to be more close to 225, 235 on the outside. So
more speed guys that you're really looking at them in coverage and less in, being the big body. I mean, they're just versatile. They're obviously still going to be able to stop the run, but more speed and athleticism in order to cover more ground.
You're not supposed to know what they're going to be doing on a play-to-play basis, but I think for those linemen up front, you're going to need kind of the bigger space-eating linemen, not necessarily the edge. You don't going to have a nose tackle and two edge rushers, I could see, it'd be more kind of the traditional run stopping defensive ends, but we'll see. I mean, they've got time to kind of tinker with it and see how well this roster fits to it. And we're all going to learn about the 3-3-5 because you can run it in different ways. That's the whole idea about it, is that it can give you a lot of versatility. And, through that, when you do sub packages, your starter maybe could be, 270 or whatever at the defensive end position, but in obvious passing downs, maybe you bring in somebody that's, closer to 240, 235.
And I know some people care about, who else were recruits offered by in terms of how excited you should be.
Oh yeah.
Some high profile, some Washington, Utah. You were talking about, linemen, Utah, TCU, Pittsburgh, Ole Miss, Minnesota. There's your Big Ten.
Minnesota,
Kansas State, where Nebraska seems to be losing a lot of people to. Kansas, Jackson State, Dion wanted him.
There you go.
Maybe Indiana. There's your other Big Ten. Florida, Cal, Arkansas, Arizona State, and he committed to Nebraska.
Yeah.
So I mean,
good group. That's a lot of people.
That is a decent amount. There were other ones in there, but those are the ones that I decided to read up. So if you're looking in terms of was this guy wanted by a lot of teams? Yes, he was. Was he wanted by some teams that maybe would fit the package defensive wise of what Nebraska wants to be? I mean, maybe if you look at a Minnesota, that's kind of the way that they run their defense might be something that Nebraska might be looking into. So I like it. It's another commit. It's a 4-star. It's a middle of the road 4-star. I believe he's in the 200s.
Yeah. Kind of top 250 type of guy.
Yeah, he's a top 250 guy, which is great. He's top 50 in the state of Texas, which is fantastic. I mean, if you look at the state of Texas, it feels like every person in the state of Texas that plays football is a 5-star. So it's good. It's good. The coaching staff is hitting the recruiting trail hard. And again, we have 2 more days before people start signing on the dotted line. And there's a couple of people that Nebraska might be waiting on, including the offensive lineman out of Rhode Island who won't make his decision until Wednesday. And he's deciding between 4 teams, Nebraska included.
And like I said, not a whole lot of 4-stars in this class, just Princewell, this according to 24/7, Princewell, Uman Malin, who we just talked about, and Riley Van Poppel. But it does, if you're looking at overall class rank, if Nebraska can kind of jump those rankings, they went from, I believe, 50th to 44th with Princewell's commitment. So it's moving up. It's still not where you want it to be. We'll see. Again, a transition class, maybe not going to be your typical top 25 class at Nebraska. But I think there's still going to be a lot of moving parts. And of course, these days, that class is interesting of its own. But how do you rank in the transfer portal? Nebraska, obviously,
21st.
Again, not somewhat bearing the lead, I suppose, over the weekend, is that Nebraska may have got their starting quarterback in the transfer portal this past weekend. For what it's worth, Jeff Sims, a 4-star in the transfer portal, not the highest of all the quarterbacks out there in the transfer portal. I think he was
4-star.
Yeah.
In the
transfer. Well, and I think
high school, he was, if you're looking at the rankings at 24/7, he was .9169, and then transfer wise 0.9. So it's still pretty high up there. Again, a high 4-star in terms of transfer rankings. But in the way that you're saying, if you're looking stat-wise at what Jeff Sims did at Georgia Tech, it's not really anything that's going to blow you away. If you're looking at the rest of the transfer quarterbacks that are in the portal, you look at their stats, you look at what they were able to accomplish at the collegiate ranks. Jeff Sims might not crack your top 10.
But I do think it's funny too to like rank, because like On3 has their transfer portal rankings, and they have I was kind of looking through. They have Grayson McCall as a 4-star. And it's like, dude, Grayson McCall changed Coastal Carolina's projection as a program. Like Devin Leary, they have him as a 4-star. That was a preseason ACC Player of the Year. Brennan Armstrong, Spencer
he
Sanders.
Got hurt, though. Devin Leary
I
got
know.
hurt.
I just think it's funny that you kind of go back to the portal rankings. You're like, I don't need you to tell me what 4 or 5 or like what projection Devin Leary is or Brennan Armstrong is. I've been watching these. Like Spencer Sanders, we know who that is. He's been at Oklahoma State for like 8 years.
Spencer Sanders is a 5-star transfer quarterback. I don't care what they
say.
say.
And they have him at a 4-star.
Yeah, I don't care what they say. Spencer Sanders is Grayson McCall and Spencer Sanders are the 2 best transfer quarterbacks out there. I don't care who else is out there. DJ Uyunglele, sure, I guess he was a 5-star coming out. He's the best player. He was not impressive at Clemson.
See, they have him. So On3 has Devin Leary as the number 1 quarterback. Brennan Armstrong is the number 2. DJ Uyunglele at number 3. And Spencer Sanders at 4. Grayson McCall at like 6. Graham Mertz at 9 for what it's worth.
Graham Mertz is way too high.
Hudson Card at number 8.
Hudson Card is way too high.
But I just
I've
to me,
seen all of these guys play.
Right.
Well, except for I'd never really paid attention to Devin Leary, but I've seen all these other guys play.
Yeah.
And Spencer Sanders and Grayson McCall are the top 2.
Yeah. And
DJ Uyunglele, sure, I'll give him top 5, but he's 5th.
I don't even know if I'd give him top 5. I mean, Brennan Armstrong 2 years ago was had led the nation in passing yards. This past season, he had a new coach. It went way south, but to have a guy that's thrown for I don't know what his career, but threw for 4,000 yards in a season or whatever, and then give him 4 stars and be like, yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, he's okay. It's no, Grayson McCall favored to Florida, or at least he's going to go on a visit to Florida or something like that. So look out for that as they lose Anthony Richardson to the NFL draft.
They got spanked over the weekend too.
Yeah, they got smoked. They avoided a shutout by kicking a field goal in the waning seconds.
Yes, shout out Bill Callahan in the Oklahoma game in 04, I think.
Let's not get shut out. Another guy going to the NFL. I don't know if it said he was skipping the bowl game or not. Let me see if I can check that really fast. And I'm too lazy to find it again. But John Robinson going to the NFL.
He's skipping the bowl game?
I don't know. I don't know if it said it in there or not. I just know that he is going to the
Did you
NFL.
see Bryce Young and Will Anderson are not skipping the bowl
Yeah,
game?
they're playing.
I don't know what Nick Saban did to coax them into that, but that's interesting.
You can't look. The thing is, you can't say that Alabama doesn't care in this bowl game if they lose to Kansas State.
Not anymore.
Their 2 best players are playing. They care, obviously.
But
if they
how
lose
did
to Kansas State, there's no they didn't want to be there. Yes, they did. They're playing.
I just don't know how Saban did that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I'm Saban,
those are top 5 picks. Those aren't maybe.
If I'm Saban, I'm looking at them. I'm going, no, you're not.
Yeah.
This is a bowl game. This is sure it's a New Year's 6 bowl game, but no, you're not playing.
Yeah.
Because if you get hurt, then I'm gonna feel terrible.
And then maybe look bad. But I
both,
don't know.
They're top 10 picks, easy, easy, not even a question. Top 10 picks.
And I hate it. I hate the fact that college football has come down to the bowl games meaning in this. But at the same point, just kind of a situational awareness. You are where you are. The top, there's guys sitting out that maybe picked in the Payne Durham sitting out.
Okay,
he's gonna be a 5th round pick compared to a top 5 pick.
Payne Durham is sitting out because his quarterback and his coach are gone. I wouldn't play either.
Who is the Nebraska player from a few years ago that sat out the Rutgers game?
There were a couple of them, wasn't there? It was
specifically on the offensive tackle line. Yeah. Anyways, that was interesting in and of its own.
Well, we might have Steve Mark. I have to shoot him a text, see if he still wants to come on. So we're going to go to a break. When we come back, maybe Steve Mark. If not, we can talk bowl games. We can find out or try to find out and then discuss how Nick Saban convinced his 2 best players to play and why he's not telling them to sit out. But up next, more football on the Happy Hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. The hour next on
Action heating air and call I need for service. What's for my office if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal? I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Bagels & Joe is happy to introduce the new Joe Card. Get unlimited drip coffee from all 5 locations, including New Seward location, for just $8.95 per month. Start your morning off with a sandwich and unlimited coffee from Bagels & Joe.
Decking the halls with boughs of holly sure sounds great until you're the one who has to do it. Take the stress out of your holiday parties this year and host your gatherings at Suite A Events by Mary Ellen's. Suite A is the perfect place for your year-end company parties or other large gatherings. Suite A and Mary Ellen's can handle the food, the desserts, the decorations, and of course, those holiday spirits. See for yourself online at SuiteAEvents.com or at 27th and Pine Lake, right next to Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity to help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential from Modern Woodman, a leading financial services provider.
Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career.
Modern Wood America, touching lives, securing futures.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see deals.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment, and it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with, get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
James Incorporated, that company that hauls your gravel, rocks, and material for your farm or construction site, says thank you to the people of the healthcare community for putting yourself in the way of danger to save the public. That is what it means to be a hero and to build a beautiful legacy. This message brought to you by James Enterprise Incorporated. For all your hauling of rock, gravel, and materials, call them at 402-332-6740. That's 402-432-6740. Guys, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping has changed my life. I'm healthier, I'm more fit, I have more energy, and oh yeah, I've lost a bunch of weight, almost 100 pounds. Now's the time for you to take control of your health and join the Farrell's 10-week challenge. The program combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition to set you up for success. And ticket listeners, you can get in for half off. The next challenge starts on January 7th at both of their locations, 40th and Yankee Hill, and their brand new spot at 70th and Vine. Get all the info at extreme.com. Join today. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox, KFXL, sponsor John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Snow showers will move into the region by later this morning and later in the afternoon. We could see a couple of inches of snow across the region. A high of around 35, winds out of the north at 10. Clearing skies late tonight, a low all the way down to 4. And a much colder day for your Tuesday. Partly sunny with a high of 17. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and The Ticket FM.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary. 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Happy Hour here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nebraska gets a commit. Who better to ask about said commit than our good friend from inside Nebraska, Steve Marik. Steve, how you doing?
Hello, Rico. I'm doing well.
Thank you for joining us, even though Nick decided to take a day off after not even graduating, just finishing another semester.
Oh man. Well, I mean, I'm glad you two showed up to work. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you. Somebody had to right the ship. This place is going to heck without me if I don't show up. But Nebraska with another commit, and I have no idea how to say his last name, so I'm going to pass it on to you, Prince Will
Umanyelan.
Wow, that's a fantastic name.
I just learned that about 10 minutes ago. So, and that's what I'll be rolling with. Am I 100% correct on that? Maybe not, but it's what I'm rolling with so far.
Hey, we'll take it. Well, what can you tell us about Nebraska's newest edge rush commit, Prince Will?
Look, 6'4", 20 pound there. Just reeks of potential. Just on the edge, he's your typical just guy freak off the edge. Long, excellent length. He's able to bend. Just watching his highlights, I really like how he bends and contorts his body around opposing offensive tackles. He just seems like kind of a natural fit to play that outside linebacker / DN kind of hybrid that Tony White likes to use in his 3-3-5 defense that he learned under Rocky Long at San Diego State. So, look at Prince Will's offers. There's a lot of good things to like on there. 4-star athlete, and of course it's another Texas athlete, which you have to like.
And I saw this too. There's a connection between Rule and the Uman Yellen family?
Yeah, I think there was back when Rule was in Waco coaching at Baylor. I think he had eyes on that family and the potential football players that could come out of there. So I believe that's where it came from. And yeah, I mean he's back in college football and had his eyes on that family and Texas in general, and snagged that commitment. So I think the relationships are really starting to pay off with Rule and his staff.
Nebraska these last 2 weekends has had, recruiting visits, official visits galore in the last 2 weeks. I believe 18 visitors last weekend and 15 plus this weekend, and they've gotten a ton of commitments out of those. What is Nebraska doing right now? What is Matt Rule and this coaching staff doing or saying to these recruits that's getting them to commit to the Huskers?
Well, when I kind of look at this, and this is just my view on it, whenever you make a head coaching change, there's I call it a new higher energy. And, with the way that Matt Rule and especially his assistants in the recruiting department are attacking aggressively, attacking the recruiting trail aggressively, I just think that, kids and families appreciate that type of thing. And, they're giving opportunities to maybe, guys that aren't the 4 and 5-star athletes, even though principal is a pretty good 4-star. But you look at other recruits that have committed to Nebraska. Look at the Quentin Ives from New Jersey, Bryce Turner from Texas, Sincere, the corner from ING Academy in Florida. These are all guys that have offers to their names, but maybe not like they're not going to jump out off the page at you. But Nebraska is, and especially Rule, is willing to, take them on and coach them and, have a relationship with these guys. And, they're banking on, the coaching staff is banking that, they're going to do the developing and do the necessary coaching that will allow these guys who have, elite speed or are really good at one thing. The coaching staff is, I think, banking on, their ability to turn them into football players and Big Ten football players. So I think that's kind of what I'm seeing from Rule and his staff. And it's really fun to watch and really fun to watch come together. Will the whole thing work? I mean, we won't know that until they're on the field, but at least right now, I think the new head coaching higher energy is prevalent here.
Well, I know a lot of people are interested in the offensive line, if that's going to get going. I know they have Gunnar Gotchula, Sam Sledge, and Brock Knutson in-state commits from the previous staff. Do you expect to see more offensive linemen from the high school ranks, or do you think that this is kind of a quick fix portal type of deal? And are we going to see, I think just overall people are interested in seeing offensive linemen join this team.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I don't know much about the high school ranks, but I know for a fact that, when you're talking offensive line, defensive line, and especially in Nebraska's case, some offensive line help is badly needed. Is a Johnny Cornelius, the hot transfer in the portal right now? Is he a realistic target right now? I know he took a visit, but he's also been to Oregon, Tennessee, and he has a Ohio State offer. So that might be difficult for the Huskers. More difficult right now than it may have been earlier before we started blowing up. But another guy I'm looking at and kind of trying to keep tabs on is Ben Scott, the transfer from Arizona State. Ben Scott played around 10 or 11 games this past season in 2022 at center. Before that, he was a starter at right tackle. I think a guy like Ben Scott, 6'5", 310 pounds, who has that kind of diversity to play on the edge or on the inside at center would be an incredible get if Nebraska could get it. Now, I don't know. I think he recently took a visit at Auburn right now, so we will see where Ben Scott ultimately lands up. But yeah, I mean, I think if you're Nebraska in the state that you're in right now, I think you're looking for transfer portal help instead of the high school help, because I think the high school haul right now is really good. But to get to where you want to be in 2023, I think the transfer portal is kind of where you need to look.
So we actually have the Prince Will last name pronunciation from his brother Princely here in our folder. Shout out to Mark Onweiler. So we can all learn something right here.
Uman Mielin.
How close was I to it?
Uman Mielin.
Uman Yellen.
Uman Yellen?
Yeah, you were right there. Look
right.
at you. Look at you being an expert. Also, I feel like we kind of buried the lead. This weekend, a big thing happened with a quarterback that Nebraska fans think that they're extremely connected to. Dylan Raiola decommits from Ohio State. What were your first thoughts, and how realistic, if you had to put a percentage, is it that Nebraska lands the 5-star number 1 overall prospect in 2024?
Yeah, when I saw Dylan decommit from Ohio State, I was a little bit shocked. I know it had been maybe been in the works the past couple weeks and just came to a head on Saturday or Sunday, whichever day he did it. But yeah, I was pretty surprised. So obviously the focus kind of shifts to, can Nebraska land the kid? And look, I think Nebraska is probably putting on the full court press to land Dylan Raiola, and why wouldn't you? The door is probably open a little bit, so why not throw your hat in the ring and see what happens? But how realistic is it? I still think it's a long shot, but not as long as what I once thought, I guess, if that makes sense. I think there's more of a chance than before, but boy, I'll believe it when I see it. The way Matt Rule and his assistants have been working it kind of makes me think that there's maybe a legit shot, but like I said, until I see Dylan Raiola in the class himself with a commitment, I'll still think it's a long shot.
Of course, the other big story over the weekend in quarterback was Jeff Sims, the Georgia Tech transfer, committing to Nebraska. Of course, that leaves a lot of us wondering, what does that mean for Casey Thompson?
Yeah. So Jeff Sims, look, incredible athlete, 6'4", 220 pounds. He can run. I don't think he's as good of a quarterback as Casey Thompson is. I think Nebraska would be. I think it would just be really, really good for Nebraska as a program if Rule and his staff can convince Casey Thompson to come back. Is he going to come back? I don't know, but taking on the commitment of Jeff Sims, who has been a 3-year starter at Georgia Tech, I just don't think that Sims would maybe come to a place where he wasn't going to start immediately. So maybe that means something about Casey Thompson. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know, but I just think it would benefit Nebraska greatly if they could have Casey Thompson come back, because at this point, in his career, he's 24 years old. He's almost an assistant coach out there because he knows the game so much, and I think he'd learn Marcus Satterfield's offense, whatever it's going to look like, really well. I know he's just got a football mind and high IQ. So, yeah, I mean, when you look at Jeff Sims, 30 touchdown passes, 3-year starter, over 20 starts in his career at Georgia Tech. He could run. He has all the tools to be a really good quarterback, but I just think that, for him to take that next step, he needs to, look, the passing game needs to improve. His ability to read coverages. He threw 23 interceptions in his first 3 seasons at Georgia Tech. Now, 13 of those came in when he was a true freshman, so maybe you need to cut him a little slack there. But I just think Jeff Sims needs to grow a little bit as a passer. And again, that comes in with Matt Rule, his assistants, and them banking on themselves that they can develop these guys and make them into better players.
All right, last question before we get you out of here. We're speaking with Steve Marik of Inside Nebraska. So they get the Jeff Sims commitment. They had Malik Hornsby on campus this last weekend visiting another quarterback, and we talked about kind of what that might mean for Casey Thompson. But is Nebraska completely out after getting Jeff Sims from bringing in another transfer quarterback, or do you think that that's something that they do to possibly fill the room with more quarterbacking experience at a Power 5 level?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I do think that Nebraska is gonna maybe take on another transfer quarterback from the portal. I'm expecting some attrition from Nebraska's quarterback room, from the scholarship guys that were here last year. I don't know who that's going to be, but I'm expecting some. But yeah, with Hornsby, another kind of prototypical Matt Rule recruit, where he's really good at one thing, and that one thing in Malik Hornsby's case is He has elite track speed. He has great 100-meter times, 200-meter times. But when you look at him play quarterback, and you saw this at Arkansas's staff, Sam Pittman, the head coach, he just did not let Marik Hornsby throw the ball much. And when you look at him, his starts at LSU and the other game that he played quite a bit last year, Mississippi State, you can kind of see why. He just looked a little bit hesitant, I guess, in the throw game. And, maybe that's a byproduct of not playing much, being the backup for 3 seasons there. But boy, when he has some room to run, he can fly guys. But, just like Jeff Sims, the passing game just needs a little bit more work with Marik Hornsby. That's again, not Rule banking on them developing and coaching these guys up. But yeah, I think Nebraska could be in the business of taking a second transfer quarterback, because I'm expecting whatever happens with Casey Thompson, I'm expecting some more attrition from the scholarship quarterbacks currently in Nebraska's quarterback room.
All right, Steve, thank you so much. I know that, we've all kept our eyes glued to Twitter with all of the recruiting news coming out from Memorial Stadium and with this coaching staff, but hopefully we can get maybe a little bit of a break coming up on the Christmas weekend. And I hope you have yourself a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, whatever a holiday you celebrate.
Yeah, absolutely, Rico. Thank you for having me.
All right. That was Steve Marik, Inside Nebraska. Wonderful recruiting knowledge, a wealth of recruiting knowledge. And again, in case anybody's wondering, this is how you pronounce Prince Will's last name.
Uman
Yellen.
Prince Will Uman Yellen.
So I was completely off. Steve was almost spot on. So yeah.
I always like those names because, again, you go back to like Ndamukong Suh. When he broke out, the national guys didn't know how to say his name.
Ndamukong.
But we got used to it because we'd been saying it for like 4 years. So sometimes it just take. And then there's other cases where like Quincy Anunwa, the guy just kind of says, yeah, I don't really care. Just
like
say
we've
whatever
been
you
saying
want
it
to.
wrong for years. And then one day they're just like, hey, by the way, that's wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, thanks for telling us now.
Why didn't you say something?
Whatever. But we're coming up the spillover with one Nate Brennan and possibly Strick. I know he's in Omaha. He's back from Texas, and he came back at a great time. I'm sure he's loving this cold weather.
That's right.
So up next, spillover with the guys from On the Block. You're listening to Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket.
Download our app by searching 93.7 at Draft and Tussin all day where you are. More on that ticket.
Winning thousands of dollars.
Just like the ones
The Nebraska Lottery is giving away.
May your days be merry and bright,
When you enter the Holiday Wishes Second Chance promotion,
and may all your holidays
be filled with lots and lots of cash.
I'm dreaming of.
Entering non-winning Nebraska Lottery Holiday Wishes scratch tickets.
Just like the ones.
You can find it any Nebraska Lottery retailer.
May your days be merry and bright.
How could they not, with chances to win $1,000, $5,000, or even $10,000?
And may all your Christmases be
Green.
There are 2 drawings for winners, so visit your nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer today. Buy some tickets and enter our Holiday Wishes Second Chance promotion. Promotion ends January 4th, 2023. Top prize odds vary by game.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers says, let it snow. Because a white December 1st to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Holiday savings throughout the store. 36 months interest-free financing with approved credit. Shop from December 1st to December 24th, and if it snows 3 inches or more on New Year's Eve, your purchase is free. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Snow showers will move into the region by later this morning and linger into the afternoon. We could see a couple of inches of snow across the region. A high of around 35, winds out of the north at 10. Clearing skies late tonight, a low all the way down to 4. And a much colder day for your Tuesday. Partly sunny with a high of 17. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What does continuing education mean to you? At Southeast Community College, it means helping you advance. Whether that's a class to help you learn a new hobby, get your motorcycle license, or even your GED, SCC can help you take the next step. Financial assistance is available too. Learn more about our continuing ed classes at southeast.edu/continuing education. SCC, your path to personal and professional development.
You had to know that when Wingstop set out to make a crispy, juicy chicken sandwich, they wouldn't make it in just one flavor. They'd make it in all 12, like lemon pepper, mango habanero, hickory smoked barbecue, and OG hot. So why have one new favorite chicken sandwich when you can have 12? Try the new sauced and tossed Wingstop chicken sandwich today for only $5.49 at Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Valid for a limited time and available at participating Wingstop locations only while supplies last. Price subject to applicable taxes and fees.
Life-changing research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska, and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, needs healthy adults who are 19 years old and older for a research opportunity. If you qualify, you can earn up to $500 a day for time and travel. Overnight stays may be required. To learn more, call Solarion at 866-213-2965 or visit helpresearch.com/500.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial spreader.
Director John Erickson at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Happy Monday. I'm joined by these two hooligans in the studio. Again, Nicholas finishes another semester of school and decides to go off gallivanting wherever he is.
I got to celebrate a little bit.
Just like, sorry, guys, I'm going to miss Monday. Why? I don't know.
He didn't tell us. He wouldn't say.
He didn't tell us.
He wouldn't let us know.
Maybe something secretly going on. Maybe he's planning us a Christmas party.
Wow.
He's planning everyone a Christmas party?
Probably not.
Wow. Thanks, Nick. You're the best.
Probably not.
He's
do you guys like my sweatshirt?
Yeah, your team sucks.
Bold to wear it today.
They're playing chess. Everyone else is playing checkers.
I didn't know.
The cold sweatshirts for those listening along.
Yeah, if I would have known that we were wearing our how do you lose a game in the most heartbreaking fashion ever,
Now,
I would have worn my hoodie.
I don't think that was really playing chess. I think that was just a very bad. See, this is my rationale behind the Colts. The Colts needed to prove to the NFL that they're not that far off. They can compete with some of the best teams in the NFL. They're just missing a few pieces. So you proved that by going up 33-0, and then to make sure that you get a top 5 draft pick, which presumably if you lose out, which I think they're going to try and do, then you get a top 5 draft pick and you get either Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. The Colts are playing chess while all the other fools in the NFL are playing checkers. I respect what the Colts did. It makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
I don't, and it doesn't.
You got to think about it. Like, actually think about it. It makes sense.
Well, hire Jeff Saturday and see where it goes.
Okay. even if the Colts lose out,
why not?
They're not going to get a top 5 draft pick.
Absolutely, they will.
Houston, Chicago, Arizona, Denver, the Rams. That's your bottom 5.
One of those teams will win.
The Colts.
One of those teams will win.
Hold on, let me see what the Colts' remaining schedule looks like. What do they have left? They have the Chargers. Okay, so that's lost. They have the Giants. That might be lost. The Texans are putting scares into everybody. They might win that one though, just for poops and giggles.
I think they might try. I think by that last game, they're gonna pick up Swag Kelly off the practice squad and play him and make sure that you lose that game.
Nah, bro.
You guys remember Swag Kelly?
They are
Bach
gonna.
remembers
They're
Swag Kelly.
gonna mess around and win their last 3 games.
He was with the Colts practice squad.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if he's still on.
They can't end the game end the season on a 4, 5, 6, 7 game losing streak. That's not Colts.
Did you guys see who played for the Cardinals at quarterback this week? Because Colt got hurt. Trace McSorley. One of my favorite big quarterbacks.
Because James Conner screwed me because I'm playing against him in fantasy and he was playing awful. And then had that last touchdown at the end. Let me ask you guys this. So in my big money league, my buddies from high school, he has 2 players left and I'm up by 11. He's got Tyler Higbee, trash. He should be fine. I'm not worried about him.
Okay.
Christian Watson, the definition of a boomer bust guy in fantasy. What do you guys think?
11 points isn't very much, though.
You're up by 11?
I'm up by 11. Christian Watson is the definition of he could have 3 points or like 35.
And those are the only 2 he has.
Those are the only 2 he has. I'm not worried about Higbee at all. Higbee's averaging like 2.5 points the last 3 weeks. I'm not worried.
Oh, that's exactly when you should be worried about this person.
But who's the quarterback? Baker Mayfield? Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, Baker Mayfield engineered a 98-yard touchdown
Baker Mayfield,
to win a game.
and none of those passes were to Tyler Higbee, which gives me confidence. I'm worried about Christian
But
Watson.
exactly, nobody's going to be focused on Tyler Higbee.
What gives me hope, though, is that
Higbee
Jalen Ramsey should be.
He won't be.
You don't think?
No.
Would it be Lazard?
Yeah.
You think?
Maybe.
I feel like at this point, Christian Watson's their number
Has
one.
overtaken him?
Yeah, I'd
No,
say
because
so.
like you
don't
said,
think?
he's boomer bust. They're not going to waste Jalen Ramsey on Chris. On
I don't know, but I think he's the best
They
receiver.
have to waste him on somebody in that receiving core.
I think he's the best. And Romeo Dobbs is back, which takes away targets.
If he gets one big touchdown, then he'll be he won't on the rest of the game.
But that would
end you.
And I'm done. anyways.
Exactly.
This is a very crucial game.
You
Like,
guys
I
both
need
had historic. I just got to think back to your teams. You guys are the guys to talk to because my team was eliminated from the playoffs, and I had the best weekend of all of us.
You did.
You guys had historic, difficult.
They said Jake was texting me and he said the Patriots are the best worst team in the NFL, and I was like, "You're not wrong.
Yeah.
They have no business being 7-7. They should not. They should have like 3 wins. They should be garbage.
Well, that's 'cause
Yet
you have the
somehow
best coach. You
they
have the best
figure
coach
out a
in the
way to
NFL.
win, and they figure out a way to put themselves in position to win, and then blow it just disgustingly. In the last couple of years, there have been 2 multilateral game-winning touchdowns. The Patriots have been on the losing end of both of them.
Was that Mac Jones that got trucked by Chandler?
Yep, that
Yeah,
was.
that was.
I don't know
beautiful.
where. I don't know where that ball was being thrown. You're not throwing that back to Mac Jones. I don't know why you'd be doing that. He can't throw it forward again.
He definitely was thinking like this is a. He didn't think it was tied game.
Well,
or
it was
whatever.
it was 3rd and forever or whatever, and the time was running out. It
Started
was
with a draw.
It was
yes.
a draw.
I like
play,
that.
and I truly think Bill Belichick was like, "Let's go to OT. Let's see how much we can hear. If we score, cool. If you get tackled, cool. Like the time's up. Let's go to OT." And then they were just like, "Hey, let's start pitching it."
They're calling Kirk Cousins now. Kirk Thuggins.
Oh, what's that?
I can kind of get behind that. Did you
swag?
See he was wearing these like glasses, and when he was on the plane, he took his shirt off and was wearing a gold chain.
Yeah.
Drinking like Busch Light.
This is all.
Like,
This
what
is
is going on?
This is all as a joke because of how much he is not that guy, right?
No, he's not.
Pretty
Also, Waterboy, he says the Rams don't have a first pick. They don't.
Who'd
It
they
would
trade it
be, it was in the Matt Stafford trade.
Mm.
So it's the Lions.
Oh well, the Lions are 7-7.
I know the Lions.
and they'll get a top 5 pick.
I'm telling you, the
Look at
Colts.
that.
The Colts are one step ahead of every team in the NFL. Just wait. I'm telling. When they end up with Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud, I will tell you all that I was right. When they end up with Will Levis, I'm officially changing my favorite team to the Kansas City Chiefs. I've decided. Have you seen that, Bach? The new thing is Will Levis is the next Josh Allen.
Well,
they're
he's
already
not.
claiming he's going to be Josh Allen.
He's not.
Yeah, no shot.
But whatever.
chance.
I guess you can believe what you want to believe. There's no way in hell that happens.
It'd be nice.
Speaking of Kentucky, apparently the NC State quarterback is favored to go to Kentucky.
Oh, Leary.
Devin Leary.
Yeah, Devin Leary.
Interesting.
So that's a thing that might happen.
Yeah.
How does Kentucky get all these transfers? They got Wandale too.
Grayson McCall might go to Florida.
That's a good move for him. That makes sense.
Yeah.
He's already a Southeastern guy. Makes sense.
I'm a fan of these things happening. Nebraska doesn't have to play either one of them.
Transfer portal stuff is just fascinating what it's done to college football. It's
that Rhode Island
so
kid,
different.
Nebraska's in his top 4.
Not Ohio State.
Not Ohio State. That's right.
Thank you. I'm really good at what I do. Nebraska, Oregon, Tennessee, Ohio State. We'll see where he goes. He decides on Wednesday. Signing day, early signing day, regular signing day is on Wednesday. We'll see how many people Nebraska gets. I'm sure they're in on a bunch of people. But that's going to do it here for the happy hour. Tomorrow, Nick might be back. I don't really know what he's doing. But that's going to do it for us. On the block up next. Everybody go warm up a little bit. Adios.
This is Jay Foreman, 93.7 The Ticket. Talk to you about Battle in the Vault games. 1 ticket for the whole day. Tuesday, December 20th. Game times are 1, 4, and 6:30 p.m. Concordia against Oklahoma Westland. Number 23, Mississippi State against Drake. Nebraska against Queens University. Down at PBA. Be there and don't be late.
Your Christmas list changes a lot as you get older. Dreams of video games, remote control cars, and baseball gloves turn into dreams of shoes. You know, practical things. Brown's Shoe Fit is the king of shoes in Lincoln.